We asked 847 women over 50 what parts of a man's body they actually notice when looking at men over 60. The third answer on the list even surprised me. Before you assume it's about chest size or broad shoulders, pause for a second and comment where you're watching from. The fourth body part on this list is something 91% of men completely overlook. Even though it quietly shows how much personal care you take, often from a distance, most men only realize it when it's already too late. I'll take you through all five parts, explain why they matter more after 60, and show what women are truly paying attention to. The fifth point may sound obvious at first, but the real reason behind it can completely change how you think about how you present yourself in your presence. This is why your body structure says a lot about the kind of man you are before you even speak. Body part number 5 is your posture, meaning the way your spine stays aligned throughout the day. I know it doesn't sound like a body part in the normal sense, but stay with me because this is something women notice before they even focus on your face. 72% of the women we talked to said a man's posture shows more about his daily lifestyle than his overall fitness. When you're standing in line at a cafe, getting out of your car, or walking across a parking lot, women are quietly observing your whole structure. Are your shoulders slouched forward without reason? Is your head jutting in front of your chest? Does your whole body look like it's collapsing inward? After 60, posture can deteriorate fast if it's ignored. Women fully understand that this change is natural. They're not comparing you to a 25-year-old. Instead, they're asking a different question silently. Is this man still active in life? Or is he starting to give up? That is the message posture communicates. It's the difference between energy and surrender. I've seen men with impressive physiques, wide shoulders, and strong arms who spend hours in the gym. Yet they move as if the world has drained them completely. Their heads hang forward, their upper backs are rounded, and their entire presence quietly says, "I'm worn out and done." Then there's the average man, maybe carrying a little extra around the stomach, but he stands upright. His chin stays level, chest is open, and he moves like he still owns the space around him. Which of these two men do you think actually gets a second look? The difference in perception is huge. The instinctive signal women receive is whether you are still alive and engaged or mentally and physically checked out. At 60, 65, or even 70, you no longer have the advantage of hiding behind youth. Your physical structure instantly speaks for you. The good news is that this isn't something you're born with, and it isn't about height or bone structure. It's about choosing to manage your posture and movement instead of letting it slowly decline. Make a conscious effort to stand tall. Gently pull your shoulders back and keep your head aligned with your spine. It seems almost too simple, but most men underestimate how powerful this single adjustment is for first impressions. Next is something just as important and far more revealing than most men realize. Your hands are the most honest part of your body. Body part number 4 is your hands. I'm not talking about size or strength, but the overall state of your hands, nails, skin, and basic grooming habits. Women often call hands the truthful body part because you can hide many other things. You can wear clothes to conceal your stomach, style your hair to hide thinning spots, or choose glasses that enhance your look. But your hands are usually left as they are, and because of that, they reveal a lot. After 60, signs of aging show up on hand sooner than almost anywhere else. Veins become more visible, skin changes, texture, and age spots appear. All of this is normal and expected. The real question women ask isn't whether your hands look young. It's whether you pay attention to small details or only to what's obvious in the mirror. Taking care of your hands takes less than a minute a week. Trimming and filing nails, pushing back cuticles, and basic maintenance are enough. Yet most men completely neglect this. I'll be honest, I've been on dates where a man's hands immediately told me I wouldn't continue seeing him. Not because the hands were rough or worn from work. Working hands can actually be attractive. Calluses from lifting, building, or doing physical labor signal activity and capability, which is a positive sign. But neglected hands with uneven nails, dry or cracked skin, and cuticles untouched for months send a very different message. They suggest a man who doesn't pay attention to details. And if he ignores something so visible and easy to fix, what else is he overlooking in life? There's a big difference here. Hands that work hard and are still cared for tell a strong story. Hands that are abandoned tell another. Many men misunderstand that overly polished hands can also send the wrong signal. If your hands look too perfect, it can suggest you're trying too hard or seeking approval. Women sense desperation instantly. The ideal balance is simple, clean, trimmed, and clearly maintained. Nothing fancy, nothing over the top, just proof you still manage yourself. At this stage of life, you already know small details matter. Your career taught you that. Your relationships taught you that. Ignoring something women notice every time you shake hands or pass them a menu doesn't make sense. Body part number 3 is closely connected to energy, and 84% of the women in our survey rated it as more important than muscle size. Body. Part number 3 is your neck and jawline. Before you think this is something you can't change, pause for a second. This isn't about having the sharp jawline you had in your 30s. Women understand aging. We know what 60, 65, and 70 actually look like. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is visible effort that shows you still care about yourself. After 60, fat naturally collects under the chin, skin loses elasticity, and neck muscles weaken. This happens to everyone. The difference is that some men fight it while others surrender to it completely. Women notice that difference from across the room. There's a clear difference between a jawline that still has shape and one that blends into the neck, and between a neck that holds structure and one that has nearly vanished. We're not looking for youth, but self-discipline. Your face is the first thing people notice and the last thing they stop looking at. Genetics play a role. Some men naturally store more fat in the neck area, and some have stronger jawlines, but consistent effort always shows. Overall body fat matters more here than anywhere else. Losing just 5 pounds can sharpen your jawline. Losing 10 can bring back definition you thought was gone forever. You don't need visible abs. You just need a neck that hasn't disappeared. Strength training helps, especially compound exercises that engage the back. Deadlifts, rowing, and pull-ups. When done safely, strengthen the muscles that support your neck and posture. Your neck position connects directly to posture. If your head constantly juts forward, your neck disappears. When your head stays aligned over your spine, your jawline reappears. At this stage of life, you have an advantage. Younger men don't. You understand discipline. You've built careers, raised families, and handled responsibility. Using that same steady effort here is just applying wisdom you already have. This takes time. Real visible change usually appears after 3 to 6 months. That time will pass anyway, so you might as well choose progress instead of decline. Take Marcus as an example. At 67, he lost 12 pounds in 4 months and added daily chin tucks and posture exercises to his routine. Nothing extreme. Within a month of reaching his goal weight, 3 women approached him at a large art event. His exact words were, "I didn't realize how much I had let myself go until I saw the difference." Now let's talk about something many men underestimate, but women notice constantly: your forearms. Body part number 2 is your forearms. This often surprises people. Yes, forearms. They're visible in nearly every social setting. Short sleeves are common, and sleeves get rolled up when paying, reaching, or opening doors. Women see your forearms all the time, and we interpret them in a very specific way. Most men don't expect this. Many spend hours doing curls and pressing exercises to build upper arms and shoulders, which actually rank lower on this list. Meanwhile, forearms are ignored. That thinking is backward. Women aren't admiring forearms for looks. We're looking for proof of capability. Strong forearms signal usefulness, competence, and strength. Can you lift something without struggle? Can you fix something? Can you handle physical tasks with ease? Confidence. This instinct runs deep. It represents practical strength and shows more clearly in your forearms than almost anywhere else. A common mistake men make is relying on isolated gym movements like wrist curls. On the surface, they seem useful, but they completely miss the real goal. What actually builds strong, impressive forearms is not small, repetitive exercises, but regular use of your hands in everyday life. Carrying heavy grocery bags, moving things around the house, doing yard work, performing farmer's carries, or simply hanging from a pull-up bar as long as your grip allows. These real-life tasks demand sustained grip strength. That demand is exactly what forces your forearms to adapt and become stronger over time. Real-world effort develops forearms in ways machines never can. What makes this more interesting is that after age, forearms respond to training better than almost any other visible muscle. You're not fighting the same hormone changes that make chest or upper arm growth. 60 forearms respond to training better than almost any other visible muscle. You're not fighting the same hormone changes that make chest or upper arm growth harder later in life. Grip strength depends heavily on neural activation and muscle coordination. And both of these systems remain very trainable well into your 70s and beyond. Another factor is vascularity, not the extreme bodybuilder veins, but natural defined veins that signal energy and health. This kind of vascularity quietly shows vitality, healthy circulation, and physical capability. And people notice it immediately. Women notice this far more than most men realize. There have been many times when a man's forearms drew more attention than his face. There's something deeply attractive about hands that look capable and active, connected to forearms that appear firm and defined. It doesn't follow logic or checklists. It is an instinctive reaction rooted in signs of usefulness and strength. What surprises most men is that achieving this look requires no special gym schedule. When you regularly lift genuinely heavy objects, carry them farther, and rely on your hands for meaningful tasks instead of constantly scrolling your phone, your forearms naturally become stronger and more defined without even thinking about it. Meanwhile, many men obsess over muscles they see in the mirror, chest, abs, and biceps. They spend time on areas that rarely matter in daily life while neglecting the body parts that women actually notice during normal interaction. Women focus on signs of usefulness, capability, and engagement with the world. Forearms show all of that instantly without a word. They silently tell a story about how you live and how involved you are in life. But the number one body feature that reflects self-respect most clearly is also the easiest to overlook. Your eyes and overall expression act as the true mirror of how you see yourself. This is where many men unconsciously shrink themselves. It's time to stop playing a smaller role. You already have intelligence, wisdom, and life experience earned through years of effort. Now it is time to reflect that inner value outward. Everything begins with your eyes and the way you carry your expression. They are not just tools to see the world. They show the world who you are. Your eyes communicate seriousness, intent, and inner stability. The shift begins the moment you change how you think about yourself. Take control of your physical presence. Stand a little taller. Walk with purpose. Move like someone who knows where he is going, even if the destination isn't fully clear. This quiet confidence spreads through your entire body and changes how others perceive you. When you enter a room, you are not just walking in. You are sending a message that you belong there and that you have value. That message is delivered before you say a word. Now comes the uncomfortable thought many men have but rarely admit. The idea that it's too late to start. That belief is completely false. In reality, this stage of life is the perfect time to begin. You've lived long enough to understand what truly matters and what doesn't. You've earned your place at 60, 65, or even 70. You are not competing against others. Most people your age have already stopped improving. That alone sets you apart. This is your chance to rise above the ordinary by continuing when others quit. Don't trap yourself in overthinking every detail. Your biggest obstacle is not age, it's doubt. Remove that doubt immediately by committing to action. You don't need to transform everything overnight. Begin with small, deliberate changes. Stay present in conversations. Smile genuinely. Keep your head level and lifted. These are not dramatic moves, but they send powerful signals. They show the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are still engaged and capable. You still have something meaningful to offer, and that truth deserves to be visible. Remember this clearly. You carry experience most people will never have. You've lived fully, learned continuously, and endured challenges that shaped you. Instead of fixating on the past, focus on the present. What lies ahead is what matters now. The core message to carry with you is simple. Your eyes and the expression behind them reveal self-respect. Own that fully. Move through life with intention and purpose. Don't delay this shift. The right moment is now. Earlier, it was mentioned that most men your age have stopped improving. Now, the reason is clear. You are different because you choose not to stop. You are exactly where you should be. It is not too late. In many ways, this is the ideal stage of life to take control with clarity and confidence. You've already learned that confidence is not perfection. It is presence. It is showing up with purpose and occupying your space without apology. Age is not the barrier. Hesitation is being in your 60s or beyond is not a limitation. It is an advantage. You possess decades of insight, resilience, and understanding that younger men don't have yet. You have survived hardship and emerged stronger and wiser. Now is the time to apply that strength toward the next meaningful chapter of your life. This is where lasting change is created not through force, but through consistency and self-respect. The outer signals you project posture, hands, jawline, forearms, and expression reflect inner confidence clearly, but physical appearance is only part of the story. Women also pay close attention to something deeper and subtler. This next factor separates men who quietly surrender to age from those who use it as a source of authority. It is largely behavioral and can be adjusted immediately. That factor is your voice, your cadence, and your volume. Many describe it as a command signal. No matter how strong your posture is, if your voice is too soft, rushed, or trails off at the end of sentences, the signal weakens. After 60, many men unconsciously speak more quietly, more quickly, or less clearly. This is rarely due to physical decline. More often, it comes from years of stepping back, deferring, or believing their words carry less weight. That habit sends an instant message of hesitation or low confidence. Women notice this immediately. They aren't looking for loudness or aggression. They are drawn to presence, a voice that sounds steady, grounded, and comfortable filling space without forcing it. Think of men you deeply respect, leaders, decision makers, men at ease with themselves. Their voices share a calm depth. They speak clearly, deliberately, and without rushing. That alone commands attention.